Yeah.
Are we gonna let them know about it? I don't know.
I mean, how do we communicate forward?
Just do it the same way you do. We can put a picture of it on our webpage. I mean, really, we can do that, and if everybody can put it on their Facebook, I mean, people will find out about it. And the cool, one of the things we wanted to do is light that one up. Sorry.
City Council, come to order. Call the roll, please.
Godwin.
Here.
Norris.
Here.
Rogers.
Here.
White.
Here.
Willman.
Here.
Ely. Here.
Let's stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes. You should have received a copy of last meeting's minutes.
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
Just as a comment, I guess maybe I'd like to see some correction here.
Talk to your man.
As we talked about Curtis's report in our last meeting and about the issues with the water department, and we talked about the need to communicate and get ahead of what's coming down the road with all the increases in water bills. As we did the minutes, we identified there was discussion on the rate increase, and that was as far as we went. Should we have more in that body or not? There was a lot of discussion there of rate increase, how much estimated it could be, and we talked about getting in front of it and communicating it. We had a lot of what I thought was lively and healthy discussion.
Right.
And yet in the minutes, we identified that as there was discussion of the rate increase. So I'm asking the question, since this is a public document, becomes a public document, did we do justice to what we talked about within the minutes?
And we can by all means add to it. I mean, there was additional discussion. Yeah, if we feel it's necessary to add to it, we can absolutely do that.
I put it before the rest of my fellow council members.
Yeah.
We do. If we don't, we don't.
I think it could probably be a good idea.
I also agree that there should be a little more summary added to that because Curtis went to a lot of work to provide us with the information. We rose and asked questions, and so I really do think that there needs to be some additional text added to the minutes.
Yeah, we can absolutely make that happen.
With that being said, I would just hold off then on any motions on the minutes for this meeting. We'll make some revisions to them, and then
Bring it back.
next meeting, there'd be two.
That's fine.
That's correct.
All right.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Moving on then to approval of the agenda. At this time, we have nothing to add.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to approve the agenda as it is presented. Discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Willman.
Yes.
Ely. Yes.
Okay, moving on, public hearings. Anyone wishing to address council, please step forward. If not, we'll move on to administrative reports. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Council President. First of all, I want to mention Greenville's Trick or Treat will be this Sunday evening from 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock. That's October the 26th. That'll be followed by Beggars Night, which will be on Thursday night on the 30th. That'll be downtown. Just some points on that. They're going to have a costume contest and parade lineup at 6:30 at front of the Wayne Cinema. At 7 o'clock, the parade starts downtown Broadway and it ends at the Circle. And then beginning at 7:15, they'll judge the costumes at the Circle. And then at 7:30, the trick or treat begins, going down one side of Broadway and up the other, going in order of the direction of the traffic. So that'll be this next Thursday on the 30th. Want to mention the Veterans Day Parade again. I talked about that before, but that's going to be on Tuesday, November 11th at 11 o'clock. It's a tradition, and followed by a bean soup luncheon. That will be immediately following the parade at the American Legion. Other thing I want to mention is the United Way is having their winter food drive to collect non-perishable food items for our local food banks. Winter months are coming up and a lot of people are in need in the area, and we want to try to encourage the citizens of Greenville to be just as generous as they always have been in providing for food and clothing, whatever, for the banks that are here for the people that in need. The drop-off would be at the United Way office on East 4th Street, 207 East 4th. You can call the office and they'll come to you to get it as well. So wanted to mention that. And the last thing I want to make mention of is there's no soliciting signs that we've made available, and they're being distributed at all the offices in the city building. The utilities office, I believe the auditor's office, you have some?
Yes.
Up there, as well as the income tax office and the mayor's office. We have all have these, but these are made available. They're very nice, very durable, and we ran across some scuttlebutt with our ordinance that we had put in place as a city council. That was meant to protect the citizens from being taken advantage of. We met with some controversy with that, if we will, and we adjusted that, the rules regarding soliciting. But if anyone has a no soliciting sign at their house, don't knock at their doors. That's against the law. So just so we want to make it available, for people that wish to have a no soliciting sign, have something nice to put up. So I want to thank everyone involved with that. So with that, I pass.
Thank you. Moving on, Safety Service Director, Mr. Delp.
Thank you, Mr. President. To add to that, we thank Councilmember Mr. Godwin. He purchased those no soliciting signs and donated them to us.
I'm trying to keep you anonymous.
There's 3 out there, so thank you, Clarence.
It's greatly appreciated. And they're very nice, by the way, very.
Just a few updates for this evening. First, the water tank repair project that's going on out the water plant should be finishing up this week. We have our final walkthrough on Thursday, and then we can get that project completed. If you've been by, all the tanks are gray now instead of white, and there was some reasoning behind that with how algae grows on the white paint versus the gray paint, is why we went with the gray color. So those have all been repaired, and we're doing our final walkthrough, and we'll have a knockout list to finish. Phase 3 sidewalk project, we're almost finished with that. This week we'll be doing our final walkthrough on that and creating a list for a punch-out list is what we call it, to fix any yards or anything that wasn't done correctly on the front end. And then I want to talk a little bit about that. So Phase 4 is East Water, East 4th, East 3rd, East 5th, over in that area. With all this new lead line stuff coming out, that is also a very hot area for lead lines. So most likely I'm going to be looking at that map, and we're probably going to be shifting some phases around just so we're not replacing sidewalks and then coming through and tearing them up as we replace lead lines. So we're trying to work through that process right now, so we are going to change it a little bit, but wanted to make everyone aware of that. Pavers moved in today. They'll get started tomorrow with grinding, and then the pavers will be in right behind them to start the paving project for the 2025 season. Water line repairs, or the new water lines that will be going on Green Street, Arc Marion, and Chippewa. We have a pre-con meeting the end of this week, and then so next meeting I'll have dates on when they'll be starting and where they'll be starting and how that process will go on those water line replacement projects. And then the mayor and I and Councilmember Godwin, and if anyone else, I apologize, attended the groundbreaking of the East School property last Friday. So the Robinson Bonanza development is going to get started on that building project here, probably in the next couple of weeks with breaking ground and starting putting in foundations and putting in some residential housing. With that, I will answer any questions, but I will pass.
On the properties that has been identified, so forth, as, needing repairs or whatever, we keep hearing the fact that they're on the list. Well, there's one building that I have talked about the last couple of years, and nothing seems to be improving on that. Where we stand and, why, we're asking these residents to upgrade their properties and clean them up and whatever, but yet we have some commercial buildings that's falling apart. And how can we ask the residents to clean up their own properties whenever we aren't cleaning up the commercial buildings either?
They're all a work in progress, and as you know, we do letters and we try to get voluntary compliance, but when we don't get voluntary compliance on one, that's when it gets very long and lengthy as far as the court proceedings and going through all that, and we don't want to overwhelm the courts with so many of them that they get upset with us and don't help us along the way.
Well, the one that I've talked about probably for the last 2 years is the old Hobart building, 3rd and Sycamore.
And so the other issue with that is as we go to court, essentially the court's response to us is, okay, it's a nuisance property. You can now have the authority to go in as a city and fix it. We had a property on 12th Street that we did that, and it was just a residential property. We had to clean out the backyard, and we ended up having $20,000 in it. And so we've identified that property. We're actually hopeful that there's some progress and possibilities for that property moving forward. But it's also an allocation of costs that if we take it to court and we're given the authority to do it, now we've got a budget within our budget, the expenses to put in however much it is to fix that property up as well. And so those properties have been identified, they have been pursued. Property owners have been made aware that they're not in compliance and they have an obligation to fix it. And some of it is trying to pick off, some of the not low-hanging fruit, but the properties that are easier for us, that if we go to court, that we have the funding in the budget for it to remediate the nuisances that are there. And that's one that, once we move forward with that property, the price tag to get that property in compliance is going to be substantial.
I agree with that, but, like I said, we've been talking about this for a couple of years and nothing seems to be getting done.
I hear you.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah, go ahead. Mr. Dell, you talked about pavers, you're talking about the ones out in front here.
No, I'm talking about asphalt paving, street paving, maintenance,
Oh,
street maintenance paving.
pavers. You meant the people that do the
Yeah,
paving.
pavers, the pavers out front, I don't know if you noticed when you walked in, they're marked. We have like a 60-yard pour to do tomorrow out at the bulk water station, and then we'll probably start prepping that on Thursday or Friday and pour first part of next week. That way it's ready for next council meeting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? All right, thank you. Moving on, Law Director, Mr. Reaman.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. I just wanted to speak briefly on the last ordinance that you have about the settlement agreement. What that does is, if you recall, we had somewhat talked before about sergeant's pay, and there was a gray area in the contracts about when promotion pay hit. This fully resolves all the issues with all outstanding employees, and it does it in a couple of important ways, in my opinion. One, it resolves it for less than our exposure would be if it fully got litigated. Frankly, the amount that we're settling it for on both of these contracts is for less than what you would spend in arbitration costs just paying the arbitrator, let alone if there was an award against the city. So for that reason, I believe it's a win-win. Plus, it was a mutually agreed resolution, which also helps to keep our employees happy. And so for all of those reasons, we brought that forward to you. This fully resolves the issue. There's no other outstanding issues with anybody that would fall into that category. And because we're in current contract negotiations, the language in the union contracts being adjusted to eliminate any discrepancy in the future. So this will no longer be an issue.
So this is like a one-off, one-time settlement issue.
That's correct.
That will no longer be a potential issue going forward. That's the short answer of all those words you used.
That's exactly correct. It's a full release for any wage issues from the two employees to the city. And with that, I'll answer any questions anybody else has.
Mr. President, Mr. Reaman.
Yes, sir.
We haven't talked for a while about the subject, but where do we stand on the completion of our annexation project?
In terms of where we're at, so I had drafted a letter to their council. Their council has responded, essentially saying that they're not going to voluntarily comply. So we're now to the point where we need to make a decision regarding how forcefully we want to pursue the project.
What's our, I thought we wanted to get it done here before the end of the year, right?
Yeah, and so anything now, because there's going to be no voluntary compliance, is going to have to be handled through litigation. And under that, there's just no way that any litigation would be handled within any time frame that's less than 12 months.
So what's the next steps? I mean, that's the question.
Yep, and so the next step would be having a meeting with council to determine whether we want to continue to pursue this or not.
When are we going to do that?
Yeah, and so at that point, that would be a good item to have an executive session.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions for the law director?
So I just want to know, on executive session, can it be sooner rather than later?
It can be whenever you call it.
Well, Mr. President, I'd like to suggest we do it in the first meeting in December, or next meeting, I don't care, but we need to get this addressed, November.
I agree. All right. Anyone else? All right, thank you, sir. Moving on, auditor, Mrs. Davis.
Thank you, Mr. President. We reviewed the third quarter finance report this evening, and during that review, we also went over the supplemental that is before you this evening. So I will just entertain any questions that anyone might have that we didn't get answered. And if there isn't any, then I will pass. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, committee reports. We do have one on the agenda from the Finance Committee.
Honorable members of council, the Finance Committee hereby submits our report. The Finance Committee met on October 16th at 8:30 a.m. to discuss the recent request submitted by the Treaty City Shuffleboard Club. The request was for $358.18 from the community funds to reimburse purchase of supplies by the club for maintaining the shuffleboard courts. The club has operated successfully for several years and has become a valued asset to Greenville's recreational landscape. The work that has been done by the club in preserving the court is certainly appreciated. The Finance Committee, by unanimous consensus, believes that the proposed support is justified and recommends to approve the Treaty City Shuffleboard Club's request for the amount of $358.18. Respectfully submitted, Committee on Finance, Steve Woolman, Chairman, Greg White, Vice Chairman, and Leon Rogers, Member.
Make a motion to accept the committee report.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to accept the committee report. Discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Willman?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes,
Okay. Moving on, ordinances and resolutions. I have 4 to consider tonight. The first one is a then and now certificate for Lippman Thomas. This was given first reading.
A resolution authorizing a then and now certificate for Lippman Thomas Insurance Agency, Inc. This resolution authorizes a then and now certificate for the Lippman Thomas Insurance Agency invoice in the amount of $9,824 for the cyber insurance policy renewal from October 1st, 2025 to September 30th, 2026.
Motion to suspend the rules of this resolution and read it by title only, second and third time.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules, give this resolution second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Abstain.
Rogers?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Willman?
Yes.
Ely?
yes,
Okay, we've got the second reading done. Moving on, number 2, we have another resolution authorizing then and now for Lippman Thomas.
A resolution authorizing a then and now certificate for Lippman Thomas Insurance Agency, Inc. This resolution authorizes a then and now certificate for the Lippman Thomas Insurance Agency invoice in the amount of $1,120 for the insurance renewal from October 1st, 2025 to September 30th, 2026.
We have to suspend the rules and give this third reading by title only.
This would be second, correct?
She just read the
Was the
second.
second.
Right, yeah. Motion by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, give this resolution a third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Abstain.
Rogers.
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Willman,
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Okay. Moving on, number 3, we have a supplemental ordinance.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025. The supplemental ordinance allows for appropriations in the General Fund, Waterworks System Revenue Fund, Public Transportation Fund, Healthcare Fund, and Wastewater Capital Improvement Fund, and the sum as follows. Salaries, Mayor's Office, in the amount of $515. These funds need appropriated to complete the payroll through the end of 2025. Office Supplies, Treasurer, in the amount of $1,200. These funds need appropriated to renew the Treasurer Insurance Bond for a 4-year term beginning January 1st, 2026. Office Supplies Administration in the amount of $1,400. These funds need appropriated to renew the Employee Dishonesty Insurance Bond for a 4-year term beginning January 1st, 2026. Healthcare Premium in the amount of $13,510. These funds need appropriated for the payment of the city's share of employee healthcare. Maintenance Fire in the amount of $5,000. These funds need appropriated for the unexpected maintenance in the fourth quarter of 2025. Maintenance Water in the amount of $16,090. These funds need appropriated through the end of 2025 for maintenance needs. These funds were received from paid invoices for commercial water meters. New Equipment Transit in the amount of $25,000. These funds need appropriated for the city portion of the purchase of a 2026 transit bus. RX claims in the amount of $80,000 and medical claims in the amount of $100,000. These funds need appropriated due to the high medical and prescription drug claims in the 2025 healthcare plan. New equipment, wastewater capital improvement in the amount of $1,034,625.65. These funds need appropriated for the wastewater treatment plant solids handling project. These are funds that need posted as the payments were made on behalf of the city and need reimbursed.
Move to suspend the rules, give this ordinance second and third reading by title only.
Third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Willman.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025. An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025.
Motion to adopt the ordinance.
Motion by Mr. Norris to adopt the ordinance. Discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Willman.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Okay, and moving on, last, number 4 here, ordinance to authorize a settlement agreement.
An ordinance authorizing a settlement agreement regarding alleged wage issues with 2 police officers regarding overtime compensation. This ordinance authorizes the Safety Service Director to enter into settlement agreements with 2 police officers regarding alleged pay discrepancies for overtime pay calculations.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this ordinance and read it by title only, second and third time.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules, give this ordinance a second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Willman.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
An ordinance authorizing a settlement agreement regarding alleged wage issues with 2 police officers regarding overtime compensation. An ordinance authorizing a settlement agreement regarding alleged wage issues with 2 police officers regarding overtime compensation.
Move to adopt the ordinance.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the ordinance. Discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Willman.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Okay, moving on, nothing under old business, anything under new business? Okay, and we'll move on to our council representative outside committee, the Community Improvement Corporation. Anything on that?
Got an update?
As Mr. Brown and Mr. Norris are on that committee, we meet again the 3rd Tuesday of this, November. Yep, we just met last month. Updates, farm ground lease, so we do something similar to the city does. We lease the farm ground for the CIC in 3-year cycles. The farm ground lease ended at the ends at the end of this year, so we're in the process of rebidding all that farm ground out there for sale. Nothing new from the CIC side of things, just more informational, and we continue to submit applications to Jobs Ohio to try to entice businesses to come to our industrial park. But we don't have any new updates or any big sales.
That farmland is out there in the industrial area, right?
Yes, sir. It's about approximately 63 acres.
Thank you.
And in those minutes from CIC, had ethanol plant was little interested in some land next to them, or which, is that in front or in?
They're no longer interested.
Okay. Okay. That's been a couple months.
Yeah.
Old news.
It happens quick.
Change their minds.
All right, thank you for the update. Communications?
We received the monthly reports of September from the Transit Department and Income Tax Department, the third quarter report from the Fire Department, and the CIC minutes from July 22nd, 2025.
All right, thank you. Let's call down the council.
Godwin?
Yeah, I will touch on what the mayor talked about of the no soliciting signs. I was helping somebody on the south end of town with the storm door this last week, and the person came up and started telling me about the roof. He goes, "Do you own the house?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." So then he started talking to me, telling me my roof needed fixed, and then telling me about his metal shingles that he was trying to sell me. And I said, "Do you have a city permit to do that?" And he said, "No." Then he didn't, I was kind of standing in the way of the no soliciting sign that was on this house, and he goes, "I didn't see that." He goes, "I'll leave you alone." He goes, I'll leave. And I said, "Well, you still have to have a permit in the city of Greenville to go door to door." And I said, "You have to go to the police department, fill out paperwork to do this." And he said, "Yeah, he would," which I doubt if he did. But then when I was across the street talking to the person that lived at that resident, and then there was another person down there, pretty busy on the south end of town. I think it was Omni Fiber or Brightspeed that was doing door to door in that end of town. But, they do work. And I want to thank everybody for coming up, and hope you guys learned something today. And welcome to the city of Greenville, and I'll pass.
Thank you.
Norris?
Yeah, thanks, everybody, for attending. We appreciate it. I know Chief Thompson's not here, but we appreciate his third quarter report. It was quite thorough in there. And Mr. President, I would like to make a motion to excuse the absences for the month of October.
All right. We have a motion by Mr. Norris to excuse the absences for the month of October. Discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Wellman?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
And with that, I'll pass.
Thank you.
Rogers?
Yes, I want to welcome everybody here, and I have a classmate that showed up that just moved into Greenville, and Nathan Arnold, and his wife. And so we welcome you into the city of Greenville, and hopefully everything is good for you. Thank you. And with that, I pass.
White?
A little redundant. Welcome to our city. Hope you find it to meet all of your needs. And thanks to everybody for showing up tonight. With that, I'll pass.
Wellman?
Thanks, Clarence, for the little sticker signs. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Jan, I can't believe you don't have anything to say. One more chance.
What's your number?
Thanks, guys, out there. Appreciate it. That's all. I'll pass.
Ely?
Well, I guess I can add my welcome to the city too. It was like having, at the planning and zoning meeting, it was kind of like having old home week. Cindy and I go back a long way, as does Nathan and I. So welcome to the big city of Greenville. We're glad to have you, and thanks for sticking around to see how council operates. Come back anytime. So, and with that, thanks to everybody else for coming, and thanks for a good meeting, guys. With that, I pass. Thank you.
President Schmidt?
I just wanted to thank all of you up here tonight. I thought we had some good discussion and keeping things rolling. And Clarence, behind the scenes, maybe you don't want to thank you, but thank you. With that, I will pass.
Move to adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adjourn. Discussion? Call the roll?
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Willman,
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.